love and welcome back to my channel. My name is Angelica. If you are new, I post a bunch of videos about natural hair, growing your natural hair, how to make it look beautiful, different hairstyles, a little bit of skincare here and there. So if that seems like something you're interested in, please consider subscribing. The subscription button is right down there, as well as the bell icon. If you click the bell, that will just make sure that you get your notifications on time. Let's get straight into the video. So in this video, as you can see, my hair looks a mess. I have had my hair in these braids for technically a month. It's been about 3 weeks and a half, almost a month, which is about the time I usually keep my hair in these kinds of cornrows or braids. It's usually a month. When I'm pushing it, it's like 5, maybe 6 weeks, but 5 weeks is usually the most I go. So in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how I take these braids down for maximum growth on my edges, no damage, because usually when you're taking your braids down, whatever kind of braids, but mostly cornrows, since I have cornrows in this case, this is the time when you destroy your edges if you're not already doing it before. So I'm going to show you how I take it out, how I retain the length, and all that kind of stuff. So make sure you stay tuned all the way till the end, because I will be dropping all my tips as I'm undoing my hair. My first tip is for your edges. Do not put gel or edge control on your edges every single day. Depending on what you're doing with your braids, you can figure out a way to stretch it if you want to do your edges every day. I do not do my edges every day. I usually wear my hair in a head wrap, so I usually just put some conditioner on my edges, brush it back, and go ahead and do my head wrap. Or if it's on the days when I'm leaving my hair down, I'll make sure I do my edges, and when I go to sleep, I'll make sure my edges are tied down nicely so I don't have to keep doing my edges every day, because the toothbrush and the gel, it dries it out, it's over manipulation, and your edges come out. If you want to still have edges after your braids, you're going to want to do that. So now I'm going to go straight into how I take them down. I'll be using a spray bottle. This is what it looks like. This is one of those continuous spray bottles. I highly recommend using a continuous spray bottle instead of one of these bottles when you're taking your hair down. And the only reason is that you don't want your hair to be wet when you're taking it down, because your hair has been in braids for a long time. There's a high chance that your hair is already pretty tangled, and making your hair wet just makes it more prone to breakage because it will make the hair too soft, and you probably have a lot of buildup in your hair already. This can make your hair break as you're detangling it. So you want your hair to just feel moisturized, so very slightly damp. You don't want your hair to be wet. And then I do not use a comb. I only use my fingers, and I don't know if you can see this if I zoom in, but the ends of my hair are not braided into like tiny, like you braid the hair all the way tiny right up to the end. My braid stops here, and then this part here is just twisted like a finger coil around my finger, and it usually stays like that. My braids do not unravel, so that is how all my braids are at the ends. And this prevents breakage on the ends, because as you're detangling that little part and undoing the braids, you might be breaking the hair, and the most vulnerable part of your hair is the ends of your hair. So you want to make sure you take care of that. Also, you want to make sure that you're washing your hair in the cornrows, especially at least a week before you take them down, just because it breaks up the buildup a little bit, and you won't have too much buildup in your hair as you're taking them down. So it has been a couple days, and as you guys can see, my hair doesn't look like it has tons of buildup. It just looks very like old and matted. So I'm gonna give you a full 360 view of my hair, then we'll get to the unbraiding. Okay, so let us get into the unbraiding. I'm going to start with my continuous spray bottle. And I'm literally going to do one spray, just like that. That was enough. Just to moisturize the hair, just to make the hair a little damp. And this continuous spray bottle just really evenly distributes the water, so your hair is not damp. It just feels nice and soft and moisturized. Now I'm going to take my oil mix and just use a little bit of that and put it over, just to add a little bit of slip when I'm detangling the hair. And please do not use a thick oil. You can use any oil that's light to medium, like coconut oil if that works for you. It doesn't work for me, so I don't use it. But you can use olive oil, coconut oil, almond oil, avocado oil. Do not use castor oil or any other really thick oil, because it's going to make your hair sticky. And I'm just putting this all over my braids and the ends. So I start by the ends. I always do this just to make sure that if there's any knots or anything like that, they can just unravel themselves. And I do not use the back of a comb or anything like that. I just use my fingers to start detangling. I mean to start unbraiding. And I just go from there. So as I'm unbraiding my hair, you're going to see that I have very little buildup, and my hair won't look dirty and have that like yellow dirty line that you have in the front, because like I said, I always wash my hair in my cornrows. It makes it easy to detangle. Your hair feels a little bit more moisturized, and you're not going to end up with extremely matted hair that you can't detangle because you just recently washed and conditioned it. And I do always notice quite a bit of hair growth. That's why I love to keep my hair in these braids. And I usually have my hair in like a head wrap or something while it's in the braids after the first week, or under a wig. And by the way, if you're curious, this is like the hair growth. I don't know if you can see it. Maybe I'll try it somewhere up here where you can see, like if I pull my hair, and it feels really soft. I could literally wear this in a braid out if I wanted to. Okay, now when you reach this part, this is a very crucial part of your hair because it is right next to your edges. And if you didn't do what I said and washed your hair before you did this, then you know you're going to have a lot of buildup right in this section right here. And it feels soft and sticky and gluey, and you can easily just rip your hair out. I'm sure you've seen like big pieces of hair on a comb or something like that. This is where the hair gets damaged, so I'm going to show you how I do it. So you want to be very gentle here. It's actually easier to detangle the gentler you are. So you want to just like kind of let the hair fall apart by itself. I'm putting almost no tension here. And I just kind of unravel the braid as it is. And gently, gently pull apart. And you'll see, even though I washed my hair, I do have a slight bit of buildup right there. So you want to be very gentle as you pull this apart. Do not tug, do not rip, because it will take your hair out. And your edges. So just let it lightly loosen itself. So you want to do this right till the very end of where your hair might be matted or they might be built up, because when you wash your hair and those mats are still in there, it'll cause a serious problem. Okay, so that braid is completely done, detangled. Look at the length. So now what I do is, instead of taking out all my hair at once and then sectioning it off and then detangling, I prefer to detangle per braid, just because every braid has its own like wave pattern because of the braid it was in, that all the hair kind of follows a similar sequence, and I find it quicker. I save more time. So now we are going to go back in with another one spray of the continuous spray bottle. And again, you don't want your hair to be wet, you just want it to be slightly damp so that it doesn't break. Because if you comb or detangle dry hair, it will break. But if you also comb and detangle wet hair, it will snap. So I do this and I finger comb to get out all the shed hairs. And you guys will see there is hair coming out because your hair does naturally shed. When your hair is in braids or whatever, your hair sheds every single day. So I usually finger detangle. And as you guys can see, my hair is not severely matted. So I finger detangle to try and get out as much shed hairs as I can before I comb through it. And I just try and pull out as much as I can. The longer your hair is in the braids, the more shedding you will have. Naturally, not the more shedding, the more hair you will have, you will just find more shed hair, so it will look like more because your hair has been shedding for a much longer time. I'm using my wide tooth comb, and I will just start from the ends of the hair and work my way up. As you guys can see, my hair is really not that tangled. So that's done. There's a little bit of extra shed hairs on the comb. And then once I'm done detangling the section, I will just twist it up so that I don't mix it with the next braid. Just a nice quick loose twist, nothing fancy or too tight. We're not trying to over manipulate the hair, just an easy loose twist. In my comments, a few people have asked for a twisting tutorial. I don't know if that's necessary, but if you want one, please comment in the comment section below and I'll make one. So there we have a twist. Now I'm just going to put some music on, speed it up, and let's go through my entire head. Or if you are unbraiding your hair as well with me, let us continue unbraiding the rest of our hair. Okay, so I just got done detangling and taking out all my braids. I actually feel really tired now. So what I do at this point is now take out all the twists just to let my hair breathe a little bit, and then when it's time to wash my hair and do my entire wash day routine, I just do what I normally do, which is section my hair into 4 and go ahead with my wash day. So for now, I'm just going to untwist all the twists we did. And my hair is completely detangled. So for the question of the day, I would like to know, how do you detangle your braids? Do you use a comb? Do you use your fingers? Do you do it on wet hair or dry hair? I am so interested to know. This is how huge my hair is looking. If you're getting any value out of this video so far, make sure you give it a big thumbs up and comment please what other videos you'd like to see from me. If you didn't subscribe, hit my face right there and watch the 2 videos on the side of the screen right here if you'd like to see anything else I posted. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!